Alright, what is going on, you guys? This is Shenzi. Today I'm gonna explain to you how to properly wheelie. A little disclaimer, I'm not a big stunt guy, you know, I'm not that professional at all. You see, this is my bike. It's been through a lot of shit already, even though I don't have it this long. And a couple of you guys have been asking, well, how do you wheelie? What are some tips and tricks how to get started, you know? And so today I'm gonna try and explain a little bit how I learned, how I'm still doing it. You know, maybe it'll help you guys, maybe not. Well, if so, at least you can see some dank wheelies. To you, this is my bike, 2019 Honda crf450L. So yeah, I guess we'll just get started then. Now note, mind you, I'm only a midget. I'm like 1 meter 70 centimeters tall. That's about what's it, like 5 inches or 5 feet 4 or 5 feet 3, I don't know, some of you Americans watching. But so basically when you pop a wheelie, you're not, how should I put this, a decent wheelie looks like this. This is about my plate. Now I was using the rear brake. If you don't have the rear brake, if you haven't mastered the rear brake, I definitely suggest you do, because, well, if you go past balance point, if you do a wheelie like this and you let go of the throttle, you go down immediately. But if you wheelie like this, every time I let go of the throttle, I kept going backwards until I tapped that brake. So you gotta make sure that the rear brake, just make that rear brake your best friend, man. Make it your lover, you know, think about it, eat with it, sleep with it, love it, you know, be its best friend. If shit goes wrong, that's your only safeguard, you know, that's the only way you're gonna get down. If you haven't mastered rear brake, then I suggest you keep it at this level, just looking slightly over the handlebar, because if you go past that point, you can let go of the throttle all you want, but that point, well, balance point is about the point where your forks are horizontal. So if your forks are horizontal, that's balance point. If you go past that, well, you can let go of the throttle all you want, but just keep going backwards until you finally loop. Very important to first of all get the hang of your handbrake, of your foot brake. Handbrake, well, that's more advanced stuff. I'll get back to that when I'm getting used to it myself. What is a wheelie? Anyone can just beat the throttle and do a wheelie, like, you know, you make the front wheel go up. Yeah, you'll do a wheelie and it looks great, you know, don't take me wrong. I love any wheelie, no matter how high, how long, how far, you know, any wheelie is nice to see, you know, gets the kid inside you enthusiastic, makes you feel good, you know, it's awesome. Do a control wheelie. A control wheelie is really when you get it, you can wheelie as long as you like, you can slow down, you can take turns, you can, you know, you're not just yeeting the throttle like, you know, whoa, and uncontrolled. No, you keep the foot brake under control, you keep in mind what you're doing, don't give too much gas, don't give too little, don't give too much brake, you know. So basically, what you want to do to pop a decent wheelie, don't go yeeting that throttle and just hope for the best, you know. Of course you can do that, it's fun. Like you see, you can do power wheelies. You start off, right? You get on your bike, you're like, oh yeah, I want to get out of here. You get on your bike, you start the throttle, you start to give gas, throttle, whatever, and you just shift some gears as you're speeding up like this. Of course, you can wheelie all you like. You can go up to 150 or more kilometers an hour easily. That's not the hard part. But keeping a wheelie steady, that's the hard part. First, learn the basics. If you want to go up, don't go to yeeting that throttle. Use the clutch. Like, and when you're giving throttle, you let go of the clutch like this. You see? So you basically have to go, your RPMs have to be higher than idle, you know. Say you go to about 3,000 or 4,000 RPM, like this, you let go of the clutch, up, and you go up. Just do some pops like this to get used to the feeling of going up. You don't want to go too fast, you know. When you do, don't go dropping, don't release all of your throttle. Try to, you know, pump it up, keep it, and give the brake a small tap. see, like, go up, tap the brake, go up, tap the brake. And every time you go up, it doesn't need to be high, you know. You just need to get used to the feeling of popping up. Popping up. When you're popping up, don't let go of the throttle. See? Just pop up, brake. You pop up and brake. Before you know it, do this a couple of dozen times, 100 times. I don't know how long it takes you to get used to that rear brake, but get used to it, you know. Don't let go of the throttle to go down. You're gonna go down fast. If you're doing wheelies at pretty high, well, if you're doing wheelies like this and you let go too fast, well, your fork seals are gonna have a hard time, you know. So it's gonna cause leaking. It's gonna wear out a lot faster than it does if you're just up and you go down with your brake. You still have some gear left, you still have some throttle left. So with that last bit of throttle, you go up, and when you go down, just when you're about to hit the ground or just when you're about to go down, you give it some more gas. So you go down nice and slow. This will save up on your fork seals, on your forks, on everything, you know. It'll be much safer landing too, because you won't get smacked down, because I've seen guys get down from really, even myself. I once hit the brakes much too hard. And I went down and I nearly went over the steering wheel at about 80 kilometers an hour. The thing, if you hit the ground at that speed, well, yeah, it's gonna hurt. If you hit a tree or something, you might end up dead. So watch out where you're doing. Find yourself a nice spot like this, an industrial terrain or something. Go there on Sundays when no one's working. Make sure there's no traffic at all. Make sure no one cares or no one will call the police on you or something, because if police show up, if you have a friendly officer, yeah, that's fine. But if you have an asshole cop, they'll just tell you to go away or give you a ticket or take away your bike. I don't know. So always make sure you have a safe spot to practice. Don't go yeeting wheelies on street, you guys, unless you're able to. And if you say like, oh yeah, I can pop a wheelie, oh no, the cop's seen me. Well, if you're able to ride away, that's cool. But preferably do it on a safe spot like this here. Right. So back to the wheelies. So when you're down with the clutch ups, you know, you can go up, go down with the brake, go up, go down with the brake, and you're getting used to it. Then you want to go higher, you know, you want to go higher, and instead of immediately getting back, try keeping it for a little longer. A useful tip that I give you, I do it, well, the wheelies I pop now were in first, that's why I go in such high RPM. But actually with this bike, I learned in second gear, because second gear is a lot less choppier than first. It'd be choppy, you know, you're yanking that throttle and you just, you know, you got your full torque, it's very torquey, it's not that stable at all to learn. So I learned in second gear. So when you go in second gear, you go up, and you're in much lower RPM. You can also go longer on the rear wheel. You can also really longer. You know, your first gear on an enduro bike, well, enduro supermoto converted bike, first gear is very short. For those of you that ride like the CRF-R, the YZ, any cross moto, or like the RMZ, you know, they're all five gear transmissions, and they all have long first gear. My previous bike was a 450 CRF-R, and the first gear I could perfectly do wheelies at about 40 kilometers an hour. Right now I can't. Well, I can, but as you just heard, it takes a lot of RPM. It's so crazy. The RPM is just so much. It's not handy. It feels wrong, you know. You don't want to mess up your engine by doing wheelies in high RPMs all the time. That's why you get it up and then your bike stalls. That's why you get it up, start in second, it's less choppy, and just try to maintain your wheelie. Go back with your brake and go higher each time. Now mind you, the parts, now this is simple stuff, you guys. If you have to look on your handlebars like this, it's okay. So you heard the RPMs increase. As long as the RPMs are increasing, you can go higher. The moment you approach balance points, your RPMs are gonna stable out. So your RPMs aren't gonna go up, your speed isn't gonna go up anymore. You're just gonna stay at the same speed, same RPM, but you're also at the point where you need your brake. So listen to those RPMs, don't worry about it. As long as you can keep control, it's okay. But I'd suggest you keep the speed as small as possible, because if you fall at a speed of 50 kilometers an hour or less, it's not gonna hurt you. By the way, always wear your gear. I have shitty hand gloves, I know, but these are my stunt hand gloves, so I don't mind at all. But I have the gear, I have my bike pads. This is Kevlar, it has knee protection. I have my harness. You know, if I fall, I'm pretty safe as long as I don't end up on the fences or something. But if you're going to fall, it's better to have gear. Sure as hell, always wear a helmet, because I've seen guys fall without helmet, and oh boy, did they hurt. So when you start to improve on your wheelies, you know, you get the wheelies down, you can come up to the point where, you know, oh, your RPMs aren't racing this much, you know, you're gonna be choppy with the throttle too, and then eventually you're gonna notice your throttle is gonna be less choppy, you know. A lot of guys do like this. Don't do that. Keep it nice and steady, you know. And keep a steady throttle, and you'll feel much safer, much more controlled. It's better to have a little slightly too little throttle than add too much throttle, you know. Too much throttle is just gonna get you looped. Too little throttle is just gonna get you down again. So then you just start again, you know. So when you're at the point of, oh, my RPMs aren't increasing anymore, I'm starting to keep the same speed with my wheelie, well, this is the point where you're gonna start looking at your steering bars, at your handlebars. Mind you, this is different for anyone. Like, as I said, I'm a midget. I'm like 1 meter 70 centimeters tall. I have a friend who's 1 meter 90. He's really good with wheelies too. But his balance point is different than mine, because he's about 90 kilograms. He's at 1 meter 90 tall. So it's different for him. It's different. So that's why you gotta find your sweet spots, you know, the balance point spot. The spot where you no longer increase your RPMs. Basically, like I said, balance point, that's about the same for anyone. More or less. When the forks are horizontal, that's where you have to master that rear brake, because if you go a little bit past that point, especially with a two-stroke, you're just gonna keep going backwards. Make that rear brake your best friend. So when you do, after that, it's all mind games, you guys. It's all mind. It's all mental. So you just get it up, preferably as fast as possible, as fast as you're comfortable with. Don't push yourself, right? Take your sweet ass time. No one's pushing you. You don't have to be a star. You don't have to be an ace. If you go like this first and then you throttle up, see, it's okay. It's okay. You can just start off nice and easy, a little bit more gas till you reach that point where balance point is. Go up, go up, go up. And you go down again. Oh, it doesn't work out right away. It used to go better, you know. Don't worry about it. You'll get the hang of it. Just go higher and higher. Remember, you won't fall off, so definitely never let go of your pegs. Always keep your feet steady and firm on the pegs. Unless you want to do tricks like knee knockers and everything, that's okay. But if you're gonna do a wheelie, don't think you're gonna fall off, you know. Like now I'm gonna show you. If you go past balance point, like I said, your forks are gonna be horizontal. Like this. This is horizontal. This is your sight. You have to look beneath the handlebars, you know. Look beside your bike a little bit, you know. If you're not comfortable looking beside it, find yourself a street like this where there's no traffic, no pedestrians. Just keep looking at your gas tank. You know, you don't have to look at the side, because if you look at the side, chances are that it's going to go sideways. if you're going sideways, don't panic just yet. Just try to focus, keep your bike steady and go down. Don't push that brake, like you push that brake but not too hard that you won't fall over the handlebars. But eventually you'll get the hang of it, and then you just pop a wheelie, keep it steady and go higher and higher, you know. Once you feel comfortable coming to this point, you can start going backwards more, you know. Oh, balance point, yeah, I got it. Then you can go further a bit and start braking down. You can start braking, don't go over balance point. Don't push the brake too hard, you know. If you want to slow down, you go past balance point and you sort of just let it sit there. Let go a bit of gas and push the brake just slightly. So once you've mastered the rear brake, you've mastered, or you got used to the feeling of going up, using the rear brake, the wheelie game is yours, my friends. It's absolutely yours. Now you just gotta have to, well, just do it, you know. You're gonna notice, once you're high up, steering is gonna be a necessity. Because you see, I don't know if you see it on camera, but the road, it goes a bit to the sides, you know, to make the water fall away. So these are kind of streets where you will need to be steering, you know. So when you go left to right, kind of look where you're going. If you look where you're going, that's already a great step. If you look where you're going, that's a great start. If you want to turn, actually turn, like do the swerves and everything, it's all in the handlebars, you know. You gotta like push the handlebars to the sides, use your hips and your feet a little bit, make sure you apply even pressure on both feet, and then you'll get there. This took me a while to do, you know. Swerving is really something you have to keep your head, you know. You gotta sort of use your head. Swerve too much, you might fall down. Swerve too little, you might end up in the dirt, you might slide away and break your fucking face. Just take your time, go to these lots. If you feel comfortable, you're on an open road, you see no cars near you, well then you can pop a wheelie, you know. And if you think like, oh no, I can't keep it at the same speed, there's too much wind, or I'm too nervous, or I'm going too fast, doesn't matter, shift the gear, you know, try again, slow down, play with it, the world is yours, alright? Just be careful, always look around you for cops. If I see a car that looks even the slightest way of on a cop car, I'm not gonna pop a wheelie, I'm gonna shift the gear up, be silent as possible, and I'm just gonna wait for the moment, you know. So the main thing you have to remember from this tutorial, first of all, make that rear brake your best friend. Learn it, love it, get to know it, be best friends. Clutch ups, yeah, do clutch ups, use clutch ups, you know. You can also give it a little bit of throttle, go up slowly, like this. And you just speed up a little bit. It doesn't matter, you're learning, you know. For the rest, well, all the rest is just extras, you know. Of course, once you get really down, you can start doing knee knockers, maybe seat standers. Mind you, if you do a seat stander, you don't have a rear brake. So that's why I've installed the handbrake. I'm still getting used to it. But if you want to do seat standers, please be cautious, you guys. Remember what I said. Balance point is at the point where your forks are horizontal. Stay below that point and you should be fine. If you want to do knee knockers, that's basically the same as sitting down knockers, only your point of view is higher. Like when I go for a really at balance point, when I sit down, it looks like this. You look below the bike. If I do a knee knocker, it looks like this. Even though I'm this small, you know, the knee, I'm sitting on top of my bike. You can look above the bike, and that feels scary for so much guys, you know. They take forever to learn a knee knocker, when basically it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. You keep your foot on the foot brake, you always keep that motherfucker covered, and you just do the same as you sit down. Mind you, don't go down too fast. A friend of mine rode my bike a couple of days ago, and he went down too fast and wasn't holding it tight enough. I didn't see it. He told me it happened. He went down and the bike just yeeted from under him, from between his legs. So always be careful. You have a steady grip on your handlebars. You make sure you have your bike in hand. You hold it tight, hold it like it's your lover, you know, because you're holding on to your life on moments. So you do, well, a knee knocker, just learn it, put your knee on it, as comfortable as it gets, you know, as comfortable as it is comfortable to you. And just pop a wheelie like you always do, you know. You pop a wheelie, rear brake. Remember the rear brake. When you get to a balance point, if you want to go past balance point, it's okay, it's all the same. The only thing that's different is your body weight. Your body weight plays a big part when you do a knee knocker. That's why when I want to take turns at higher speeds or something, it doesn't turn so well when sitting down. While when I do on a knee knocker, you can place your body weight to the sides of the bike more easily. So if you're lightweight like me, like I said, only 60 kilograms, that's gonna go a lot easier, you know. Even stand-ups, when you do stand-ups, it's also the same. You know, you have more balance. A bit more scarier, but like everything, you can get used to it. You pop it up, you can start doing coasters, you can start doing knee knockers, you know, you can pop a motherfucker, knee knocker, you know, you can do anything. You can start doing 100, you know. You can do anything, the world is yours. But just keep to the basics. Rear brake, throttle control, clutch control, you know. You can pop them, before you know it, you pop a wheelie and you start coasting. So when you're advancing, you might say, I can take this further, you know, I'm feeling comfortable enough. Well, you can start, like I said, start doing coasters. If you can start doing coasters, why not do some, or don't try straight. You know, just drop it back until you hear this. You know. Alright, so I hope this was useful to you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to know something, hook me up, send me a message, add a like, a comment, share it, care it, I don't know. Well, I do care a little bit. I've got feelings, you know, but just hook me up if you want to know anything else. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next.